Test. Test. Hello. Hello. Hey there, Colt. Testing. King. Both King Cow and Colt say that they're first, but on my window, Colt is the winner. King Cow, Jay Bradley. Hello, everybody. Can someone give me a mic check? Mic check, mic check. You guys hear me okay? Test, test, test. Looking at my little OBS monitor, I see the webcam can't quite decide if it wants to focus on the microphone or not. I see a little bit of focus bounce, which annoys me. Hey, Starfish Savvy is here. Check, check, check. I need to investigate. I need to investigate if there's a way to lock the focus at a particular point on the C920 webcam. I always forget to do that. The bass is strong. The bass is strong. Thank you, Jay Bradley. How is everyone's evening going? I hope everybody's doing all right. I missed you guys last week. Couldn't make it. Ended up being a bad night to stream last Tuesday, but I'm very happy to be here with you guys now, so I hope everybody is doing well. I tap that ASMR. Gosh, good to see you. I have not seen you in a stream in a while. I hope you're doing well. How have I been? Well, it's been ups and downs as usual. And let me know, guys. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit distracted by what I'm seeing on OBS. If that focus bounce is bothering anybody, then I can maybe I'll move something around and see if I can fix it. Adam Sisk is in the house. I'd tap that as getting ready to sleep. That is good timing. Transitioning. So a good thing I can talk about is that I'm transitioning at my workplace to a new set of projects. I'm transitioning through the month of November and very much looking forward to doing something new. I'm doing the same kind of role, but on a new batch of projects. And sometimes that is very, very good. Working with a new team, different interactions, learning new, different part of the business. It can be a very refreshing, kind of a palate cleansing thing to do, especially if you feel, stuck at all. So that's been kind of in the works for a little while, and we finally pulled the trigger on starting to make that transition happen. So kind of excited about that. Early to rise. Healthy but socially dead. King Cow is very wise. So that's a good piece of news. What else can I say? Just trying to do the best I can every day. The best I can every day. Parenting and doing the family stuff, trying to teach lessons and hopefully holding things together. R Dizzle, hey, I saw the comment that you posted on one of my videos, R Dizzle, about the stream, and here it is. And Jay Bradley, I also saw a comment that you posted about the ring, the right hand ring. Looks like you were browsing around in the junk drawer tonight, which I appreciate. There's actually a video in the junk drawer about this ring. Maybe you've already seen it. The coin ring. There's the words coin ring in the title of the video, so look for that. And you'll get the whole story of why I wear this on the right hand. So what can we tinker with while we chat this evening? Oh, Slight Sounds. Thanks so much for being here. I hope you're feeling okay. Slight Sounds. I saw your Twitter message earlier. Totally feel you on that. It's a singular challenge in life, isn't it? Well, how shall I put it? Life doesn't always let us, kind of step back and take that break that we need, and we still have to keep doing things even when it's the last thing we want to do. And I totally sympathize. Hey, I've got the backwards J. The backwards J on this lid can only mean one thing. This is, of course, the top of one of those boxes that Yode watches come in. You will not be seeing this box in on the video that I'm going to do on that watch, because I'm skipping all of the packaging type things that a lot of other people do on their videos, but it is a nice piece of wood. It's got foam on the inside. No, I don't really have any, don't think I have any special Thanksgiving plans, Adam. I don't know if we're driving. I don't know if we're visiting anybody or not, or if we're staying, hanging out with just the family this year. This might sound strange, but the holidays that where we have days off at work sometimes always kind of surprise me. They kind of catch up on me, and I always kind of forget that we're having days off for certain things until like the week before, And I just noticed on the calendar, the work calendar today, that next week is Thanksgiving, and I'd somehow just completely forgotten. Hey, Indy. good to see you too. We should do some Hearthstone one of these days. Well, I agree. Weren't you going to add me to your, or send me a friend request over Battle.net? I gave you my battle tag. I'm not sure I ever saw the request. If you did and I missed it, I apologize. Brain Matter ASMR. Brain Matter. I don't think I recognize that channel name. Are you a new channel or just simply one that I've missed? Thank you so much for being here. We're just hanging out as we do most Tuesdays or some Tuesdays. So I've got the Yode box top tonight to play with. I also have, and just started my channel, Brain Matter ASMR. Well, I'll tell you what, Brain Matter, why don't you since I can't, I'll check out your channel later, but since we have some fine people in the chat tonight, why don't you give us the elevator speech version of your channel? A couple of sentences. What's your vision? What's your passion? What are you trying to do with your channel? What can we expect when we go there? And best of luck, of course, on your channel. You guys will have to tell me if this is too subtle. This is the little burlap pillow that comes with the Yode watches. And I think the only sound I can get out of this that might be picked up at all is kind of a light scratching sound. You can see the meters moving a little bit, but I don't know if this is. I don't know if this is good at all. Yeah, everybody make sure to check out Brain Matter ASMR. I love the honestly, these days, with as much content as there is out there, I applaud anyone who wants to throw their hat in the ring, because the ring is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and there's more and more hats in the ring. So if you're a member, if you're a consumer of that kind of stuff, and you see all the variety that's out there, and you want to try your hand at it, I think that's fantastic and should be applauded. I was wondering if this was it's like the little pillows that you find in regular kind of watch containers or watch boxes that just has a burlap covering over it, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like there's loose kind of white, pillowy, foamy stuff in there, so it's like a legit pillow. Stevo91. New to the chat, but I've been watching. Oh gosh, thanks, Stevo. Watching for almost 2 years. That's amazing. I watch old and new videos every night. Wow. Stevo, that is amazing, and I appreciate you stopping in to say that. You know, I wonder about, viewers like you. I mean, we don't pull very big numbers around here, a few hundred views a day. But I do wonder, who those people are sometimes. I wonder how much return, repeated viewings, and I wonder if, people come back because they have favorites, or if a lot of that traffic are just people coming, just kind of passing through one time, and never to return. And to hear your story, Stevo, really, it honors me, because you have choices about what you watch, and how you choose to spend that time. And if you're coming back here, well, I'm honored, and I think that's amazing, and I appreciate that. So you're welcome, and I'm very glad to have been a help. Decaf Math is in the chat. Hello there, Decaf Math. Slight Sound says, any new thoughts and musing on the ASMR community lately? I don't know if I have any musings that I can. Well, the only reason I would hedge anything that I might say is because, unfortunately, I haven't had a lot of bandwidth to be a very regular consumer myself of content, and so I don't even feel that I'm really kind of on top of what's been happening lately, aside from very broad brushstrokes on, very, very general trends and things like that. I mean, most of my networking, frankly, and most of the channels that I do end up spending time with are smaller channels. And I don't know if that's a, small channels sticking with small channels kind of a thing. But I mean, you'll never see a big, well, I assume I'm making an assumption. Okay. I mean, you won't see a big channel pop up on this stream, right? You don't see big channels saying hi on Twitter. So I don't know if there's a bit of stratification that happens, but I'm just not very plugged in. I'm afraid to say I'm not. I feel like I'm kind of the last person to really ask about musings on the community. I wish I was more. Wish I was a bit more plugged in, frankly, but that's a bandwidth thing. I mean, that's my fault. You've got to invest in that in order to get the return, right? And I, oftentimes don't invest as much as as I probably should. Sorry, let me catch up. Commander Salamander. Hey, I love that. I love that username. Small community of those who are dedicated tends to be better than a large community of those who aren't. I agree completely. I think I've said similar things. Bill Vila, voice and the mic so soothing. Oh, listen to you to fall asleep. Thank you so much, Bill. I appreciate your saying that. Mouth sounds and makeup brushes. Yes. Those are at the top, the very tip top of my video list, my video to-do list. And Decaf Math knows that I am absolutely serious about that. Mr. Rager 212. Majority of ASMR channels have only a couple of thousand viewers, but they are very committed and consistently watching. You know, I would that would be very interesting to see some statistics on, wouldn't it? And I'm particularly thinking about the your use of the word majority. I'd be very curious about what does the graph look like on that, on number of channels of certain bracketed sizes, you know, because the big channels, you know, are very well known and they're very visible. But, you know, how many of us are there down here in the 3 and 4K range, you know? Probably way more than I imagine. You know, unless we use our tags just right, or use the right words in our subjects or our titles, I mean, you know, we might never see each other's videos in our recommended lists. You know, every once in a while I'll see a video show up on my list from a creator I've never heard of before, and I'll click over there and they've got, you know, several thousand people and they've been at it for months or a year or something like that. And it's like, how have I not seen this channel before? It happens. It's again, it's a big ring with a lot of hats in it. I need to scroll up in this chat to check something. Sorry. I was just checking to see if Brain Matter answered the question about his channel, his or her. I'm sorry, I don't know I haven't been there, so I don't know if it's a male or female. Male or female. Slight sounds. I've been stumbling on a lot of bigger channels I've never heard of before. Yeah, you know, an interesting way to find Sweet Lily Moon ASMR. So lovely to see you here. Thanks for stopping by. Please make yourself at home. And everybody, please do consider visiting and subbing if you enjoy the content to Sweet Lily Moon, Slight Sounds, Decaf Math, Starfish Savvy, and our new channel, Brain Matter ASMR. Oh, here we go. Thank you, Brain Matter. mostly doing silent unboxings. I want to focus on bridging educational videos and ASMR videos. I was a big part in inspiring you to make videos. Wow, thank you, Brain Matter. That is kind of an amazing thing to hear. I apologize, I'm getting so distracted. I don't want to completely skip the triggers. Deo A, what's your opinion on kids doing ASMR? Okay, well, I don't need to be super plugged in to the community to have an opinion on that. I can't, I'm not a fan. Let's put it that way. And I could go on much, much more on that, but I'll say that I'm not a fan. I don't watch it myself, and I think there's just a lot of ways that that can go wrong. I'm a parent, so when I stumble across a child's channel doing this kind of stuff, my absolute first thought is, what are the parents doing, right? Because both my kids have YouTube channels, and I've subbed to both of them, and they use their channels the same way that I used VHS cameras when I was in high school. We would film skits and do goofy stuff. My kids do exactly the same thing, but they can do it with, amazing cameras in their phones, and they put it up on YouTube, whereas we made videotapes and watched them in our living room. But I'm subbed to both of their channels. I pay attention to what they upload, and in one case each, one case for my daughter, one case for my son, I have come to them after that and said, you need to take that down, because they put up something that I felt was not going in the right direction. It didn't send the right message. It was crossing a line. And part of growing up, part of being young, is finding out where those lines are, and that's fine. That's part of the journey. But my job is to help them get back on the path, right? So I'm paying attention. Now, of course, if you're the kid, I get it. There are ways around that. They could have a secret channel I don't even know about, and but I'm operating in pretty good faith that I'm seeing most of what they're doing. But what I'm saying is, when I see these little kids doing this kind of content and some other kinds of content that are farther down a certain path, that, well, my parent lights just kind of start flashing, and so no, sorry. I didn't want to get off on this tangent. You didn't need this long answer. No, not a fan. Not a fan of the children doing ASMR. No, thank you. Hey, guess what? We had Halloween recently, and where I live, we had horrible weather on Halloween. Now, some communities, hey, it's Holger and Kelly. Hello to you both. Everyone say hello to Holger and Kelly. Make them feel at home. Now, some communities around here moved their official night for Halloween one night earlier to avoid the kind of cold and the misting rain that was forecast for Halloween night. But the place I live did not. And so we had inhospitable weather on Halloween night, and what that means, of course, is that not very many people showed up trick-or-treating. So we had a lot of candy left over, including these Skittles. And of course, with any bag like this, any packaging like this, we love to see how small, how subtle of a sound we can make. Same thing with the famous tea bag packaging. I suppose every time I do something like this, my mind goes to Dimitri in Australia and his silver soap. W. Isla. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Everybody say hello. I love Dimitri's crinkle videos where he can just do a half hour, 40 minutes, 50 minutes of the most subtle crinkle work. And so we've got a whole bunch of leftover Skittles, and I don't even care to eat Skittles that much. So here I am putting them to good use if the trick-or-treaters didn't want them. But you'll see that I've got a package of the original Skittles, and I've got a package of sour Skittles. And I have them both because they package the sour Skittles with a slightly different paper. It's thicker and a bit more plasticky than the regular Skittles, and that means it makes a slightly different sound. And hopefully you can hear the difference. Favorite Halloween candy is, for me, Reese's. The Reese's peanut butter cup. Preferably frozen. I freeze mine before I eat them. And that is the best candy, and the best way to have that candy, and you can fight me. Drunk ASMR is in the chat. Hello there. Slight Sounds knows what's up with the Reese's. The Reese's cup and the miniature Reese's cup that stuff's like crack. Because for real, you freeze a whole bag of that stuff and you find yourself going back to the freezer again and again because they just pop, pop, pop right in the mouth. It's bad. Can you hear the difference in this crinkle though? It's a lower pitched, kind of a flat sounding crinkle. Let's see if we can go back and forth with these. I'll do a little bit of the red and then a little bit of the green. it's really obvious sitting here how different the sounds are. But yeah, I was just watching another, well, we talk about Dimitri and the crinkle videos he would do back in the day. Those are good videos to have in the background at work when I'm working on things. So on the one hand, I say that my bandwidth doesn't allow me to consume as much as I might like, but there are certain types that I can run in the background at work without paying a lot of attention. And crinkles are like that. And those silver soap, I'll just search for ASMR silver soap just to make sure I'm getting all the videos that have some silver soap content in them. They're amazing. And of course, he sets up those shots so that he's in the frame. And you set up the mics in the proper way where they're just off frame to the left and the right, so that when you hold up the trigger to the microphone, the trigger is still in the frame. That's very important for those of us who watch these videos and are visually triggered as well as triggered by the audio. So there's a tip. There's a tip from Papa Lamp. If you're doing that style of a trigger video, and in order to get your trigger object close to the mic, it goes out of frame. Fix your mic setup and get the mics closer to the edge of the frame so that when you put the object right to the edge of the frame like this, right, the microphone should be right out here. Because people like me, we like seeing the object and seeing what you're doing with the object, and then hearing the result of what you're doing with the object. And if the object disappears, that's no bueno. You want to keep that in the frame. But Dimitri has that extra little bit of technique that he would do, which, since I'm kind of a no-face guy, I can't do it the way he would do it, but he, would hold his silver soap or whatever it is in this region or this region close to the mic, and then he would lean his head down and put his ear really close, so he's listening to it from the other side, and then the mic is on, that side. And so it was like he was leaning in and listening very close, just like we are, and the immersion and the connection that you get just from those simple little tricks. Dude is a master. So yeah, if you can, set up your trigger videos so that your trigger object is always visible. Because guys like me love that. Starfish Savvy says, I enjoy the no speaking vids the best, and wordless ASMR is great for that. Are you saying, Starfish, that you've got them in quotes? Is that how you search for videos like that? Using wordless ASMR in your search? Hey, and nobody else has answered the favorite Halloween candy question, I don't think. Wait, somebody said something about... Oh, decaf math. I notice you not sneaking this candy like you did with the M&Ms. No, I will rummage past a whole pile of these Skittles to get to the good stuff. So yeah, these don't tempt me at all. Oh, Wordless ASMR is a channel as a creator. I'm so sorry. Okay, got it. Our Dizzle is all about the Milky Way. So I've got these. Then following on to the, I've got these Yode items, kind of in preparation for the video, the Yode video. This is you probably noticed, this is the watch we'll be looking at in that video. I've been test driving it so that I can have more things to say about it. Peanut M&Ms. Peanut M&Ms might be my number 2, and I freeze those too, even though it doesn't make as much of a difference with the peanut, but I still like it. Jay Bradley, the Frozen Almond Joy. Frozen Almond Joy. Whatever you do, don't try to freeze Snickers. That nougat layer or whatever it is gets hard as a rock. You don't want to break a tooth on that or whatever. But so this is a display globe for one of the I've got 2 of these that I keep pocket watches in. It's got a wooden base on the bottom, and then the wooden base has a little metal stem that goes up into the middle that you hang the watch on, and then you put the glass globe over the top to keep the watch clean and dust free. And I was wondering if I took the top of one of these and if I took a pencil I wondered if that would be interesting at all to have in the background. I was checking out part of Decaf Math's first ever stream the other night, and part of the stream she was talking while kind of almost absent-mindedly tapping on and I apologize, I'm not sure I remember, like a porcelain cup or something like that. And it made a wonderful kind of chimey sound in the background underneath what she was talking about, and I wondered if, teacup, right? And I wondered if this would have a similar effect. Hey, Joseph Paul. Joseph Paul is in the chat, as well as Patrick Powell. Welcome, gentlemen. Yeah, it is. It is a bit like a very lightweight, kind of thinly constructed wind chime, isn't it? That makes a dainty little sound, just kind of a wisp of a sound, almost a suggestion of a sound. Joseph Paul says the Yodis got to you too. Yeah, you can't. You got to hand it to them in terms of their. In terms of their outreach, their marketing, they really cast a wide net. I was actually happy to hear from them because I don't get contacted by very many companies because, well, I assume it's because we're kind of small. But the other reason is, when I do get contacted, they're not for products that really have any synergy with the channel, just silly stuff, right? But watches, we do watches on this channel, so it was right up my alley. But the key is to do a nice show and tell that, is in line kind of with the focus on design detail that we have talked about with our previous watch videos, and such that it doesn't come across like a commercial. That's what we're trying to get to, and that's why I picked this particular watch, because it does actually have aesthetic design aspects to it that I enjoy, and so I'm going to be able to kind of take us on a tour through those and speak genuinely and with enthusiasm about kind of what we're talking about, because I really do like some of the decisions they made in the design, particularly in the dial. The way they've laid out the dial real estate is something I enjoy. Chris 621. Everybody say hello. Hello there, Chris 621. Good to see you tonight. Good to see you tonight. Thanks, Joseph, about the watch videos. I was surprised, actually, to learn after Yod contacted me, I started looking back. I haven't done a watch video in over a year, which almost seems impossible, but it's been like 15 months. So it's high time we do another one. I'm gonna have a couple of other watches in that same video, and we're gonna do some comparing and contrasting on a couple of the design elements between the Yod and a couple of other watches. The pocket watch from my very first video, that's going to be in there, as well as the black Seiko chronograph that was in my ASMR watches video, and we're going to kind of bounce back and forth. Thanks, Jay Bradley. I hope you like the video. Although I'll hasten to you say you're very much a watch guy. I'm a fan of watches, but I'm not a collector. I don't have anything that a serious collector would be, would be interested in at all. So, I'm very much just I'm a fan of wearing timepieces, but I don't have anything. I'm no expert. Yeah, I almost brought the pocket watch that is usually under this glass. It's that one from that first video, but thought we'd experiment with the glass sounds instead. Chris621. So, question: when you played saxophone, were you in a jazz band? I was in a middle school band, so it wasn't a jazz band. It was like a full 7th and 8th grade middle school band. Everybody's making references to junk drawer videos tonight. I appreciate you guys rooting around down there. I need to shoot some more junk drawer videos. It's been a little while. There are so few views on those videos, and I love that, right? Because it's like a little club, people who take the trouble to go to the channel and go to the playlist and root around down there. Just asking you if I'd participated in one. I actually was in a very small, I was in a jazz band, a little jazz combo for a while, but that was after I had already started playing bass. So I did play bass in a small jazz band with some friends, but as an adult bass player, not as a middle school. Sweet Lily Moon, thank you so much for being with us for a while tonight, and I hope we see you again. Sorry guys, I'm trying to catch up a little bit here. Chris was aware, just asking if you have participated in one since I have jazz tomorrow. Well, good luck in your jazz class. Steve-O found my great-grandfather's pocket watch the other day. He took it all the way through World War. It was just sitting in a box in the attic. That is amazing, Steve-O. Do you have that? This might be a silly question, but do you have that close by? I would love to know, what it is, what brand it is, or anything you could tell me about it. That's a pretty amazing story. I wish I could see it. Israel Argelo is here. Everybody say hello to Israel. And everybody's saying good night. Okay, cool. Nobody else leaving right now? Okay, got it. And Joseph Paul, before he scrolls off the top of my chat window, asks if I'm a fan of Thanksgiving. Yeah, I think so. What can I say about it? I would say that I try and fail to keep a spirit of Thanksgiving with me, every day and throughout the week and stuff like that. But it's nice to kind of have a dedicated time of the year. If if I really failed at that goal, to just kind of reset and sit down and say, hey, while you're busy being distracted by this, that, and the other that you think has gone wrong this week or this month or this year, you do have way more things to be thankful for than you might remember in a given week. And you need to, take a step back and remember those things, especially people. We need to make sure we're giving thanks all the time for the great people in our lives. We got to be really careful about taking people for granted. Sometimes the little gestures, the little kindnesses, they get kind of washed away in the noise, and we owe the people around us more than that. We gotta notice that stuff, I'm speaking to myself here as much as you guys, because I know I could do a lot better job of that. Israel asks, any advice for making an ASMR channel? I've got a ton of advice, and I'll bet most of it will sound very, very counterintuitive to you. But I guess the main thing is have patience. Have patience with yourself, and have patience with your audience. And what I mean by that is have patience with yourself. Give yourself the time that you need, not only to figure out the technical side of what you want to do and to get good at your editing and your production flow, but the patience to figure out what it is you want to be as a creator, right? Don't assume that your very first thing, is going to be right on the money. Make sure you enjoy the process, for one thing, but assuming you enjoy it, do it enough so that you're kind of sure that you've kind of found your voice. It may take a while. And then when I say patience about your audience, it's a very saturated community right now, and so you got to have the patience and the perseverance to let your audience find you, and that might take a while also, right? So if you put up your first video and a week later you're frustrated because you don't have very many views or subs, you're kind of doing it wrong. You've got to kind of hunker down, put your head down, focus on the videos, and just kind of do them for yourself for a while. And then kind of let what happens. Jay Bradley, starting a spreadsheet of things and people I'm thankful for and post it on the fridge for reference. Thanksgiving resolution. That is fantastic. It's a great idea. And the good thing about that is you should keep it on the fridge, and it should be a year-round. It's a year-round Thanksgiving resolution. Steve-O, unfortunately not. It's being taken care of at my parents' place. I'd say World War I. Whew. Beautifully crafted. They don't make them like they used to. You are right about that, Steve-O. So, Patrick, you don't play anymore? I think it's impressive when, people start with music in school and then they figure out a way somehow to stay connected to music as adults when they leave school. It's hard to do. It's hard to make time for everything, but I think it's a great goal. Focus on my job and losing weight. Good on you, Patrick. Those sound like excellent priorities as well. I'll definitely pick it back up when I hit my goal. Good for you. Sounds like a great goal-oriented approach. The froggy instrument, yes. That is I believe that instrument is called a quiro. Quiro. It's just in a whimsical shape of of the frog. But that's what that little stick is that you pull out of the hole. It's meant to be drug across the little spines on the back and makes that makes that sound that you're looking for. The dog pound. Hey, Gaslamp, you're on the green screen getting a shout out. Well, thanks. Chris621 says, little weird fact, but did you know the band Iron Maiden has their own brand of beer? I did not know that, but Iron Maiden's got a lot of good stuff going for him. Bruce Dickinson is a pilot. He flies their jet around when they tour. And used to be a ranked competitive fencer in England back in the day. He is a Renaissance man, a man of many talents. So, I'll confess I'm not completely on top of the green screen reference that the dog pound mentioned. Like most things, I don't get on the first try. I just kind of wait for context to fill in the details. Good for you, Patrick. That's a fantastic goal. I know I do struggle with that myself. I don't have pretty much any of what you might consider conventional vices, but I do use food sometimes as a occasional coping mechanism, and I know that's not a good thing. Play metal on a Fender Strat, yeah. Yeah, I've been fans of those guys for a long time. Never seen them live though. Thanks, Jay Bradley. I'm glad this is working. You know me, I like a subtle sound. Yeah, Slight Sounds was on Twitch the other night. If you're still there, Slight Sounds, I'd love to hear a little bit more about, I guess, the pros and cons of streaming on Twitch versus streaming on YouTube. Is one are you finding one better than the other, and was there a reason, that you decided to go and start up the Twitch streams? Would you happen to listen to Slayer? I've listened to some. I don't own any Slayer. I think I might have some on a compilation collection that my brother made for me like a long time ago, but I've never really collected them or listened to them that much. First concert, that's a great topic. My first real bona fide concert was Kiss with King Cobra opening, and that was for their Asylum tour. So that would have been 85, 86, something like that. Kiss and King Cobra, what do you think about that? Still have that t-shirt around. Oh no, my daughter wears that t-shirt now. Something about seeing her wearing a Kiss Asylum tour shirt from 1986 to high school. Oh, Roger Waters. Chris, what was that Roger Waters tour? Was that Radio Chaos? Radio Chaos is one badass album. Pixcot026 is in the chat. Everybody, please do me a favor and say hello to Pixcot, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing your name. Thanks so much for being here. Jay Bradley has never been to a concert. Are you not a music fan, Jay Bradley, or not a dealing with the hassle of a concert fan? I understand that as well. Let's hear about more of these first concerts, folks. Slight Sounds started Twitch. I think it's up and coming for the ASMR category. Cons: following doesn't always migrate, have to be consistent. Yep. Pros: ASMR isn't overpopulated, more customization. Yep, I get all that. I know when I was on it the other night, I was able to click on the category and then look at, what was unfolding before me. And I think there's a handful of channels, at least that night, that, I'm not sure that they were doing any, what I would kind of think of as ASMR. But then once I got down the list a little ways, I saw you there and I was like, woo! David Craner is in the chat. Rush Moving Pictures, 1981, hell yes. So I wonder, Slight Sounds, if the the people you see on your Twitch streams are people who are, coming to Twitch and using the ASMR category to not necessarily to find you particular, but just looking for, ASMR and kind of channel hopping, I wonder if you pick up people that way that were not familiar with your YouTube channel first. I wonder if that's an interesting kind of cross-promotional opportunity. Harry Connick Jr. That's why you knew the Birdland riff that I was playing the other night, because you're a jazz girl. I've seen Manhattan Transfer once, and Chick Corea, and what other jazz people have I seen? Al Di Meola. I don't know if you'd call him jazz though. More of a fusion guy, maybe. I don't know. Patrick Powell, My Chemical Romance in 07. Back when they made good music. Talking about Roger Waters, could have been, but at that time I hadn't listened to him as an artist, but as a member of Floyd, sure. Slipknot, Marilyn Manson was my first concert. Pick Scott. Wow. That's a heck of a double bill. Jay Bradley just never had an opportunity. Yeah, well, I get you. Chris saw Marilyn Manson was on tour with Rob Zombie. That's cool. Slipknot used to thrash hard. Slight Sounds definitely had people stumble upon it from just the category. Whoa, you saw Ladysmith Black Mambazo? Whoa, I think you might win. You might win that category for tonight. That's awesome. Sleeping with Sirens, Pierce the Veil in Orlando. Girlfriend, big fan. I was lucky to escape with my hearing. Doc Severinsen, wow. What an amazing list of musicians and bands we're all coming up with our concerts here. Oh yeah, David Craner, the Three Amigos, Al Di Meola, John McLaughlin, Paco de Lucia. Yep. I know all those cats. Starscream. Starscream just bought Iron Maiden tickets. What? Where are they playing right now, Starscream? Black Label Society. David Gilmour in the Royal Albert Hall. Wow. You guys. What a cool list. Gonna see them in Houston. Equal distance between New Orleans or Houston. Huh. Wonder if they're coming through the Midwest at all. Oh, I'm sorry, Brain Matter. Let me see. Megan Dia, White Tie Affair, Streetlight Manifesto, Warped Tour back in the day. So cool, so cool, so cool. What a varied group we are here in the chat. I think it's fantastic. Love it. Yeah, I bet they will sell out too. Is anybody opening for them? Starscream? Do you know? Seems like Dream Theater opened for them on their last tour, or the last time they were in the U.S. Is that right? King Cow went to get Chow. Did you bring enough back for everybody? King Cow. We're talking about first concerts. King Cow, what was your first concert? And I'm trying to figure out who is opening for Iron Maiden on the current tour. Oak Ridge Boys and the Statler Brothers. Wow. See, our first concert list gets more and more varied by the minute. That's a beautiful thing. I'm going to give you guys the 10-minute warning, okay? They're going to wrap this up in about 10 minutes because I do need to get a proper amount of sleep tonight. Your mom's favorite concert was a Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon with the light show. Wow. Yeah, Starscream, if you want to look that up, that would be super awesome. Yeah, I've got a list of... There are bands I would still love to see, but I gotta confess that as I get older, the threshold for, the amount of hassle that I want to put up with going to a show kind of gets higher and higher and higher. Which is sad, I suppose, but nature of the beast, I guess. Which sucks when you live in, a part of the country that often gets skipped over by big tours. I used to drive for hours and, drive back home after shows that are 3 and 4 hours away and get home at ridiculous hours when I was young, and I can't pull that kind of stuff anymore. Kill switch engage. No, you're wrong. Okay, I'll wait. Chris's uncle got to see Buckethead. What's the interesting connection between Buckethead and my channel? Do you guys know? That's super deep trivia. I hope I'm getting this trivia right. Yes, there's a connection between Buckethead and Gaslamp ASMR. Yeah, our kids. Daughter knows almost every kind, but she is young. Yeah, our kids seem to... I try to keep up on, what my kids are listening to. And I'm probably more plugged into it than a lot of the other parents of my kids' classmates are, but can't catch everything. Another vinyl shop. So did you buy all of these albums, David? Zappa and the Mothers of the Fillmore. Royal Scam. I was just listening to the Royal Scam in the car the other day. Herbie Hancock and the Stones, Neil Young's. Yep. That's a good haul. You got some good stuff. No opening band, that's fine. Maybe they don't have one, or maybe they're kind of assembling it kind of region by region. Yeah, I would like to see them. Although Buckethead wrote Buckethead wrote an instrumental song called Andrew Henry's Meadow after the children's book by the same name, and of course that is the book I read on my favorite children's book video on the channel. So, in fact, if you search the internet or YouTube for Andrew Henry's Meadow, most of the things that come up are links to the Buckethead song. Yep, I've got both Royal Scam and Asia on the USB stick in my car right now, as well as 40 or 50 other albums. We're going to be winding it down soon, guys. For the next 3 minutes. It's awesome seeing you all again tonight. I'm glad I didn't have to miss this one. Good night, David. Thanks for being here. Wow. Commander Salamander's reading Lord of the Rings at the same time. Long shift. Patrick's got a long shift tomorrow. Thanks, Patrick. Thanks, Starscream. Decaf Math. Everybody. Again, I appreciate everybody being here. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the great conversation. I get so much out of just spending an hour or an hour and a half going back and forth with you guys. So sometimes, I'll be honest, sometimes I get to talk about some stuff with you all that I don't really have an occasion or the right people around me to ever really have the same kind of conversation, the same kind of topics, with people face to face. So you guys are awesome, and I appreciate all the time you spend on the channel and all the time you spend here in the comments and in the chat. I love it. So, and I hope you guys feel the same. Funny, so sometimes I know more about a band's guitar than their music. Absolutely. Crazy Licks, 70s style band, but 2018. I'll have to check that out later, King Cow. It's saved here in the chat so I can get back to it again. But thanks, King Cow. Thanks, Steve-O. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Jay Bradley. And I'm hopefully shooting the next video, the watch video, on Thursday morning. So I've got to give it to Yode unlisted so they can check it out first. But hopefully it'll be up by late in the weekend or early next week. Okay. Thanks again, everybody. Everybody have a wonderful evening, wonderful morning, and a good day. And hope to catch you next week, all right? Be good to each other, and we'll see you later, all right? Bye-bye.